financials. And everybody thinks that the whole time he pays my bills, he does everything, he covers everything. Everybody thinks that way. The truth is,
what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just Saying. Today we have a special guest with us again. But she came into a room as a different woman. She the other time she came in, she
was a married woman.
Was a married woman.
Yes.
Now she is single.
New name. New old name.
No, back to your old name, Cheryl Chin.
It was always Cheryl Chin.
Was it Cheryl?
Yeah. So, but after that, it was Cheryl Low.
No.
For a year.
Oh yeah, for a year and a half.
Oh.
Okay, and then Cheryl Chin now. Back to Cheryl Chin.
Yes.
Nice.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Thanks.
back. Yeah. If
You know,
guys,
the first time we met her, she was like Cheryl Chin. And then we met her as Cheryl Low. Then we met her. Now she's back. Yeah.
Welcome me back.
We were all
Thank you.
actually on the journey with you.
Yeah, fuck. If you look back,
Yeah.
the first episode we had with you was...
You're not married yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
She's
but
just pregnant.
Yeah, we spoke about you and Titus' relationship and how you're gonna get married to him.
Yeah.
And then when you came back, we spoke about your marriage and having kids.
Yeah.
And then you come back, you're talking about the divorce.
Wow.
It's nice. It's like
It's a perfect trilogy.
No,
Yeah.
but not
Right?
a sad one. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
How are you?
I think I'm better now. I'm in a better state of mind now. I was like, I mean, obviously it's not easy. I think I was like crying for like 2 weeks straight.
Damn.
But then I realized that life has to go on, you know? I can't move around forever, right? So
That's a really good attitude to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for some context, if you guys don't read the news.
I mean, there's a lot going on in the news. There's a lot. There's
There
a
are more
lot.
important issues
GST
to
high.
know.
Yeah, GST hike.
Yeah. Somewhere in the news,
Yeah.
Cheryl and Titus are filing for a divorce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Separation.
Separation,
divorce.
yeah, first, and then divorce comes later.
Yeah.
And I guess everyone wanted to know what happened, man.
Okay, I'll just laugh it off. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
I think it's okay. Like when people are nervous or like anxious, they tend to laugh.
Yeah, I think for me, like, actually I never really talked about it until now. I mean, I talked about it with my friends, but I think I didn't want to bring it online for a really long time because I felt like this whole situation, I mean, I think I knew it was going to happen and everyone obviously had a lot to say, like, oh, it was bound to happen anyway. But for me, I didn't get married to get divorced. I didn't start a family to leave with a broken one, you know, like I didn't want that. So I really tried my best, and I believe he also tried his best to make it work in our own particular ways, but it just couldn't work. We were just on different frequencies for a very long time. Yeah.
Do you think, I'm going to be an asshole for saying this, but do you think getting married after like a day, was it a day? Or was it a
10
week?
days?
2 weeks, I
Yeah.
think.
2 weeks?
10 to 14 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how, as in like, if it was me, I would have seen that coming for a very long time. Because like, you met someone for 2 weeks, you got married.
Okay, but my mentality was different though. I mean, yes, I think that was a very, very, you know, I was really not in the right state of mind at the time. Probably I was just thinking, oh yeah, it's all fun and games. But when I got pregnant, it was different. I think the person I was like a year ago and the person I am now is significantly different. Because a year ago, I would only live for myself. I would only live like, oh, I just want to live a fun, happy life. But then like now, it's like I do everything for my daughter. Everything I do revolves around her. So even this whole separation was a decision that I made for her. I mean, in the decision of making for her, you know, because I thought it through. I didn't want her to go through like a broken family. And obviously the fact that we got married in 10 days didn't help because we didn't know each other at all. So during that 1.5 year, we got to really get to know each other. And it was a lot of like back and forth, you know. I think a relationship is compromise. You don't really know a person, even if you spend 5 years with them, if they don't want to open up to you. But for me, I just didn't know a lot. And during that 1.5 year, I obviously got to know how Titus is as a person, how he is as a husband, a friend, a boyfriend, a fiance, a father, all in one, just in 1.5 years. So it was a very fast progression that I think both of us couldn't comprehend. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, so I'm not going to comment on him, but for me, I just couldn't comprehend. Yeah.
But were there like any telltale signs?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
So am I right to assume that you held it in for quite a bit?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people could tell. Like a lot of people around me could tell. Like friends who would film content with us, friends, like just people who hung out around us, they would know. It was very like obvious. Even when I was pregnant. Yeah. It was very obvious. It was like, and it wasn't like I wasn't doing it on purpose. I don't feel like on my end I was like, oh, I purposely want to. But I think the person that I became in the relationship was not who I was at all. You know, like I became so angry all the time, so annoyed all the time, like so agitated all the time, always wanting to scold him, always just wanting to take it out on him, when that was not who I was at all. Like my morals shifted, everything shifted, and like just the telltale signs of how, I guess as a woman, I'm speaking as a woman, right, in a woman's perspective, like when I was pregnant, obviously I don't expect either one of us to know how it is to handle a pregnancy, you know, and for me, I felt like a shit ton of emotions. I mean, like, oh my God, that 9 months of my life, I kind of blocked it out a bit at one point because I was so like confused and at the same time depressed, but at the same time I was so happy because it's like the best thing that's happening to me. But the telltale signs mainly were more like, just build up over months of like frustration, disappointment. But it's not disappointment because there was anything wrong. It's disappointment because I just felt like we both tried, but it just couldn't work. Especially on my end, to the very end, I felt like I really, really wanted to make it work. Like really, really. I still remember the day that we both decided like this is not what we want anymore. And that till that day, I still remember in my head, I just wanted to try. But then I just told myself, I really cannot do it anymore. If not, I'm just going to end up like, I don't know, I'll just become somebody else, and I don't want that for myself.
Jackie is an outsider. What do you think of that relationship?
I mean, like...
You can be honest. You can be honest. It's okay.
All of my exposure is really just through headlines of the news, right? Like, I'll be honest I'll be dishonest if I say I read those articles. Right? I'll be like, oh, this is happening. Okay, nice. Oh, this is happening. Oh, you know. So that's like just all of the observations I have. Right? Like seeing you here and like it really like. It gives a face to those headlines, right? Like and like there are real emotions happening when these things are being reported, and I think people from an outside perspective don't realize that like people are really going through ups and downs when these things are being printed, you know?
Yeah.
They like seeing those things in the news, like does that? I'm sure that doesn't help, right? But did it make you feel angry towards, I don't know, whatever press that is writing things or?
Oh, for me, to be honest, I didn't really read the articles.
Right.
Like the moment, I mean, obviously during the whole marriage thing, obviously the articles were being shared everywhere. And that time I thought it was all funny. I was like, okay, it's all funny. When I gave birth, actually, I didn't read also. But the separation one, I specifically, I think I only read one and then I just shut it off. And because for me, I also felt like people won't know what's going on anyway. So there's no point I need to explain myself or try to make myself look like, oh, I'm a great mom or like I was a great wife, whatsoever. I feel like in this relationship, like we both tried our best. I just didn't. I mean, at least for me, I know I did my best. And yeah, no, I really tried.
But I want to say also, we are not here to discount like Titus' efforts.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I feel like, okay, if let's say it was me and I meet someone, 2 weeks get married, or like I get someone pregnant lah.
Okay.
My obvious choice is obviously to abort because I barely know you.
Right.
But it takes, I wouldn't want to say it takes more of a man, but it also takes a man, I think it takes a man to do both. Number one, to abort, and number two, abortion, it takes a man to agree to abortion because you are basically accepting that you cannot take care of this child. And for you to let your ego down like that, it takes a lot. And it also takes a lot for you to step up and go like, okay, I want to be a father, I'm going to try. On that topic of reading the articles and everything, do you feel like you need to behave a certain way because like the public is watching? I mean, as with all public relationships, right? You know, if something big happens, they're going to cover it.
Honestly, when the moment I decided to separate, I just stopped caring. Yeah, I felt like for 1.5 years, like this is what a friend of mine said to me. She said for 1.5 years, she didn't recognize who I was at all. She said like the way I saw social media and the way I saw headlines and just the way I was thinking to certain things and reacting to certain things, she said she didn't recognize me at all. And just last week only, she told me that like that part of me that was missing for so long finally came back. And I realized it was completely because when all of this happened, I was so caught up in everything of what people had to say. That's why when I announced the separation, I already knew, one, I was going to lose, obviously, a lot of people in my life. But those people weren't meant to be in my life anyway, if they were going to walk out. Two, I was definitely going to lose, obviously, a complete family. That's why I had to think about that like for months. I spent months thinking about it. And three, obviously I was gonna lose a lot of, I thought I was gonna lose a lot of clients. I thought I was gonna lose a lot, so I was so stressed. But I just told myself, you know what, I would rather build everything from ground zero again up, than to continue being in this state of mind that I was in. Because I mean, nobody wants to be unhappy anyway, so I just decided not to care. And I think when I stopped caring, I just let it be. And I just, how do I put it? My friend told me this, every rejection is redirection. So I told myself that, and I just decided, okay, I'll just live with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a fucked up thing to say, but I feel like what has happened is actually opening you up to more clients now that you're a single mom, right?
No,
it's
you
not about
are
that.
right. Yeah, I mean, you have one part settled, finance.
I think that actually it might help. It's not like if there's one good thing, maybe it might help clients, because Titus's brand is very not congruent with
Family values.
with family type things. So having your own brand, I mean, I think clients will be more supportive of that, especially if like the Cheryl Chin brand is stronger and separate from the Titus Low brand. From a cash standpoint, but it's only since you brought it up. But more importantly, I'm just wondering so are you feeling better now?
Yeah.
Then you seem bright. You seem brighter.
You came in with a very wide smile.
But she's always smiling though.
Yeah, I'm always smiling
I'm very
smile.
surprised to hear about how much you struggled, because you're always like very positive. And whenever I meet you, and you haven't met that many times, maybe like a total of 5 times since you gave birth, you're always very bright. And you're always very positive.
Because I don't show.
But I could always tell that something was up. Like you will smile and you'll say hi and you'll be like really nice and you interact with everybody. But then as the night goes on, you'll be like, someone put a curse on me. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Someone put a curse.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
like,
Okay.
I said, I think it's tempting to think about curses, but I just hope you're getting enough sleep.
No. Yeah, that was a traumatic incident, by the way, that happened that already gave me the uneasiness, I think. And honestly, I completely forgot about that. I completely blocked it out because I was so traumatized by it. And actually, throughout the whole separation, I actually went for inner healing coaching. And at first I was like, oh yeah, that's 100% a scam. But for some reason, it got me to open up and talk about certain things that I blocked off, and I think that was very good for me. That's why I just came to a point where I just stopped being so reactive to certain things. I think I'm happy all the time. Actually, it's not whether I'm happy or not. I'm contented with everything that I have. I think I'm a person that's very content. I have nothing to be not happy about actually, other than everything else that is falling apart. But it's not like, oh, my life sucks, I don't have this, I don't have that. It was more like I just felt uneasy because I knew of a lot of things that I wanted to know of, or maybe situations that I wish I could solve, but I couldn't because it was not in my mental and vocal capability to do so. So I just kept it to myself, and I think that was okay for me, because I think a lot of people actually don't know how it all went down. Actually, when I think I told you all, when I married Titus, I had no idea that he, what kind of OnlyFans. I mean, I obviously know what OnlyFans is, and I know a lot of people did OnlyFans. At the time, I had so many friends doing it, but I didn't know because I didn't live in Singapore. I was abroad for years. I didn't know, pinpoint,
Can I say that's on you?
Yeah, that's on me lah.
It was you. Or maybe she was
literally available.
Maybe she was living in Indonesia where there's no Reddit.
All right.
No, actually, I don't even use
even
Reddit.
so, if there's no Reddit or
so-
Mothership or whatever it is, you just go onlyfans.com.
In those 10 days, at no point did you think to check?
They took it down. The police took it down.
Yeah, I met him when he wasn't.
But it's on Reddit.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Oh, okay.
Have you seen his photos, Dew?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cool. Many, sometimes too many, man.
Yeah, I've seen a few. So,
Okay, but one thing we gotta give credit to for this though, this line of work is not easy. The amount of things it takes on your toe. I'm not saying only for him, I'm saying every other creator out there, it's really not easy. I have friends who do it also, and the cost that they have to give just to provide financial stability, it's a lot. And I'm not against it lah. That's why for me, I never judged it. I always felt, even I even told him like, if this is what you really want, like go for it, like I can even have you take photos, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the next question is divorce as a whole, right? And I guess I grew up in a household where, while there a lot of my family members are divorced, like a lot of my family members are divorced, but they live through this idea of that. I mean, it's a traditional saying that once you are divorced, you are used goods, and I'm sure you guys have heard of this before.
Sure, yeah.
Did your parents ever say that to you?
No.
Okay.
In fact, when I so actually when I separated, right, like when Titus announced separation and I announced after that, I didn't tell my parents that I was gonna announce, but my parents, obviously they are my parents, so they knew for a really long time that I was not happy. Like we were not happy. Like we would fight in front of my parents, and like it would just get really, really toxic. To the point where my dad also, he is not a man of many words, but he was just like, you know what, just do whatever you feel is right for you, if this is what you want. And to be very honest, right, I had one trigger point actually that just made me feel like, okay, this is the time to do it. If I don't do it, then I'm just going to probably stay in this forever. And it was basically when I just felt like no matter how hard I try, it will not be enough. So at first, yes, I was scared of what everybody would say, like, oh, like, you use goods and nobody want. Then okay, nobody want me, lor. Then I just make more money and be a hot single mom.
That is that's good mentality.
Yeah.
What did I say? Okay, would you date a divorced woman?
Well, not right now. I'm very much in love with my girlfriend.
Yeah, so now if let's say your girlfriend is
if I was single, I don't think I'm against it, but it's easy for me to just say that because I think if you never really experience it, it's a lot like you really gotta play a part as another child's life now in a way, right? It's a heavy responsibility to bear, and it's gotta really be someone that is you really really feel for to accepting two new lives in your life.
Yeah. I mean, take away the child. I mean, if let's say...
No, but if as a mom, I feel like as a single mom, like I thought about it, but obviously that was not my top priority to find a boyfriend. Like obviously I learned from my lesson already, It's more like, I thought about it before, if this ever happens, I meet somebody, or if I want to go on date again, right, then the person that I'm going to date I feel like my criteria is actually you don't have to be super duper rich. You don't have to do everything in the world for me. You just have to really just accept me for who I am. And that comes with loving my daughter. And actually it's not about you loving my daughter. It's my daughter loving you.
I love that.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's not about, you love my daughter. Okay, many people can love her, but she has to love you. She has to see values in the person as a father, as a man. Yeah. And obviously you need to treat me right, but if she loves you, that's because you treat me right already. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I get, let me think from a guy perspective.
I don't know. Okay, you can think. Okay, I think the idea that like single, what is it, like divorce? I use goods. I think definitely there's a lot of men with that mindset, but I think it's very like misogynistic.
Yeah,
it is.
And I think those are the men.
And a guy just got beat up by 4 women. That one guy, yeah.
Shout out to okay, let's not but I think those men are not the men that you want anyway.
Yeah.
Because I mean there's like how many billion men in this world that it like they filter themselves out, like the misogynists. You don't want those people.
Yeah.
So my mom was also very worried because when she got divorced, she was in her early 40s and 3 kids. 3, that's a lot of kids. Never had any trouble. Got remarried at like 45 or 46 to like a very wealthy man.
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to figure out why is it like, why would people say, like, what is this traditional mentality? Like, what is used about you? Because you have ex-boyfriends, you have ex-girlfriends.
Maybe it's the giving birth part, I think. Because to be honest, I feel it takes a lot. Example, in a woman's perspective, right? I feel right now it takes a lot for a guy to be like, hey, I want to commit to you. Your baggage, maybe like your lawsuit or your ongoing separation or your ongoing divorce that you have to deal with, your co-parenting rights, your daughter's future, your daughter's school, your daughter's well-being, your daughter's mental state, nurturing her and giving her a whole damn life. It's a lot to think about,
Yeah.
So I think in the guy's perspective, like Jade said, why would honestly, I'm just in my opinion, right? Why would I go for a guy that thinks that way when that's clearly not what I'm looking for anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. Like some people want that, go for it. But
Yeah.
like why would a single mom or a single parent go for that anyway?
Those are not the guys. They filter themselves out. But at the end of the day, at the same time, I understand the guys, right? Like you maybe some guys just want to start afresh.
Yeah.
With a new
I
family.
mean, it's
Maybe they don't.
always easier to and simpler to date someone single.
Yeah, like-
Not
Yeah.
exactly, because you also have men with their own baggage, with their own kids. And kids are not baggage, but with their own the same priorities as you. They will prioritize their kids and co-parenting, and then you prioritize your kids and co-parenting, and that's how
But
you have a
does
blended
that label
family.
apply on men also, like used goods? Or is it only women?
I actually find it more attractive when men are like
Used goods.
single
Yeah,
dads.
right. It's like vintage.
Because
Yeah.
I know that they have like family on their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like deadbeat, like I have like 6 baby mamas
Yeah.
and like not that kind. But like let's say it just really didn't work out with your first wife and you have 2 kids. I find it very attractive that you have
Managed to do it on your own.
managed to do it on your own, but more than that, it's like I find it very attractive that you are family minded. That you want a family.
Yeah.
That you had one and you liked it so much you want to do it again. So I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, so I really don't get like what is used goods? And I feel like
I think the same misogynistic men, the group that we were referring to, would say that if you have X, you are used goods already, right? Like they are like you,
Ran through.
Oh,
they'll be
right?
"Shall we
Like they
ran
want
through?"
a
but
virgin,
that was like the next level.
that's-
That's
Yeah.
the next level.
That's the
you know.
mindset that comes from lah.
yeah, I
Like,
know a
that's-
guy
yeah.
with that mindset.
Yeah, he just got beat up by 4 women. Yeah.
But to be honest, right, I feel like there's also men who like. Okay, I feel because you asked, right, why would a single guy go for a single mom? Like example, you're
Not exactly why, but okay, let's go with that.
right? Like, I feel, what if actually that single mom is somebody who has gone through so many seasons of her life and she's actually a high quality woman and the guy just finds her very attractive and he just falls in love with her
I think that's
as a
possible
whole.
too. I
Yeah,
think there are
that's
men
what I'm saying.
that
Yeah.
are ready to have a family, and if like they can, like that could be ideal, right? Like they can just slot into this and start living that life that they are thinking about.
Yeah, so but when, as in, to the people who are saying this, there is used goods and this and that, what is your mindset here? Like, what is it that is, what's in the word of used goods
Okay.
that is stopping you from dating this girl? Like, I just don't get it. Because a divorce means
What?
this guy, if let's say without kids,
Yeah.
or this girl without kids, whatever that is in her past, a divorce means is totally wiped up. She is now single again. It's the same as an ex-boyfriend. Or okay, if let's say you say BTO is gonna be a problem, I understand. Yeah, but if I don't think used goods is fall under BTO is gonna be a problem. Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I
Yeah,
never
it's lame.
heard this,
Basically, I'm saying that fucking mindset is lame. It's lame.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I think it's
agree.
lame too. I guess I have never heard people say that, but okay.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, a divorce also takes a toll, a huge toll on people.
Alright.
Yeah.
Do you think your perception of love change?
No. To be honest, I thought that if I separated, I will never feel love again, and I'll just have so much towards Earth, like love, you know, like the ick. But no, actually, no. Like, to be honest, I feel like we all accept the love that we think we deserve. And for a long time, I felt like this was what I deserve and this was what I wanted. I wanted it. So that's why I don't regret it. I really don't regret it. But I feel like
Like, do you not
No.
believe in love anymore?
no, I believe. And I know someday I'll meet a guy who will love me and my daughter will love him and he would nurture my little family that I have, and maybe I'll have a second kid, maybe not, but I'll get to know this guy properly. I'll have a strong foundation, and then I'll just be happy, you know, and we'll just build an empire together lah.
So
I
in that
believe-
sense, would you say like 14 days was a mistake?
I don't
If you say like the next time, I mean, I think it's okay to admit
a
like
great
if
question.
you think it was a mistake, but if you say like next time I won't do this, then it kind of feels like you're saying it was a mistake.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know
like, do
how
you take
to-
that as a lesson?
I take it as a lesson, but I don't think it's a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that had to happen to make me who I am. So I cannot turn back on that, because no matter how bad it is, I would never say like, or no matter how messy it gets whatsoever, I would never say like, oh, I wish I never went through with this. I wish I never did this. Because at the end of the day, what I got from this, other than like some strange issues, is actually like not my child, but more of the unconditional love that I've never felt my whole life for somebody. And it's not towards my ex-husband, it's more towards my child. That's why I feel if I didn't have a kid, then I'll probably be but I don't, because all this happened because of it, and the person I am today became into form because of everything that happened. So 14 days was a miscalculation, but it wasn't a mistake.
Hey, you're pulling a Jada Smith now.
No, like, I think
Changing the words.
she doesn't regret what happened.
Yeah.
She wouldn't change it.
Because it's easy to say that would you regret it on hindsight, right? But like if you meet someone and you get married in 14 days and then you stay together, then everybody will be like, oh my god, like isn't that a fucking miracle? Like that kind of thing, you know?
No,
what I
I
mean?
was happy. I was happy when
Were
I
you?
made the decision to obviously.
I mean, she
get
was. When
engaged.
she
I
came
was
on the show,
happy.
like, we tried to, girl, fuck.
I was happy.
But she was so adamant about it.
Yeah, actually, we did. We were like, "Are you sure you
Yeah,
want
we
to
were
do
like,
this? It's
sure,
not a
bitch,
good
the fuck?
idea."
Yeah.
So, would you give that advice? Like, would you advise someone to get to know their partner?
14 days of summer.
I would say, yeah, please do. At least, okay, if it's not 14 days, don't time it, but at least get to know someone truly, sit down and be able to communicate on the same frequency. Don't just depend on the highs. Like, y'all need to go through the lows. If this guy that you meet, like, sees you have a mental breakdown for 14 days straight and can still love you, then I would say maybe go into a dating phase, you know? But like, yeah, if it was all highs, then no. Yeah. No, please.
So
Right.
you keep mentioning that like there were like differences. What were the biggest differences? Was it like a values thing? Different values?
Yeah. It was values. I think the way that, love languages also that I think is very important in a relationship.
What's yours?
Mine is, actually my first one is gift giving.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easy. Yeah. Second? Acts of service.
No, actually, words of affirmation.
What's your least?
Can I say for a guy that's a dream?
Really?
I feel like if
Physical
someone...
touch is my least.
Okay. But
Yeah.
if, let's say, in my opinion, words of affirmation as a love language is a fucking dream.
You think so? I feel like
Yeah.
some men find it very hard to say, to praise
But
their
why?
partner. I don't know, but it's like a misogynistic thing also, right? Like
Now,
we're not-
anyway, back
Yeah.
to Cheryl, the guest.
Sorry, yeah.
No, but it's like to me, just say it, bro. I mean, I'm not saying don't mean it when you say it,
Okay.
but saying things takes 0.5 fucking seconds.
No, it's also
versus
listening.
acts of
It's also
service.
listening. When you listen, you want to speak, you have to listen. You know, like, you know what I mean or not? You cannot just like, oh, I love you, bye. You're great, bye. No.
Okay.
And where did that differ from like Titus? What was his love language?
I think Titus's love language is, to be honest,
Physical touch.
I don't know. I think all men's is physical touch. I don't know. But over the past 1.5 years, I still couldn't figure it out. Like I told him to do the test and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. But we never end up doing it. Yeah.
Okay. So he was very closed off. He seems very closed off.
He is. But I
Very
guess
shy.
he has his own reasons. I mean, in the
Yeah, of
past
course.
1.5 years, he definitely opened up to me. But it's just like, okay, this is what I like to think, right? Like example, I'm a very open book. So everything I say, I will just blurt it out without thinking, which is good and bad in many ways. But for him, he is a very closed book. So to open him up, right, like you have to create like a safe space around him to talk to him, which I tried for a very long time, which towards the end, yes, it got better. But also during my pregnancy, the differences was major. I think, okay, another thing you mentioned just now in the very beginning is he wants a family, to keep a family. Yes, I believe he wants a family. But I think as a guy, I think because for a woman it's different. Even for me, when I was pregnant, I didn't think it through. But as a woman, when you carry the child in you for 9 months, you will just genuinely feel more and more secure, right? But as a guy, it's like, oh, yeah, she's pregnant and then boom, your baby comes and then you'll be like, oh crap, I don't know how to handle it. And I think for him, he's 23, 24 this year, he doesn't even, like, to him, this was also a shock. That's why, yes, I feel, yes, he wants a family, but to
Timing.
handle one is different.
Yeah,
a lot of
okay.
people want families, but can they handle one? Handle one meaning when your wife is emotional, do you know how to comfort her that way? Or do you know how to communicate that way whatsoever? And I think both of us, we tried to do that together, but there was just so many other things factoring in at the same time that we just couldn't. The differences were just too big
What?
in mindset, goals, long-term goals, values. So the way I see things and the way I treat people, the way I want to do certain things, he doesn't agree. And the way he wants to do certain things, I don't agree as well.
What was like an example? Maybe not. You don't have to like. It doesn't have to be like a big thing or a fight, but just like a mild example.
Okay, I would like to say maybe financially, like example, I'm the kind of person, example, when I go back to Malaysia and I meet my girlfriends, right? And this is just always has been who I am all along. Like, my mentality is if I'm earning Sing dollars and I'm going back to Malaysia to meet my friends who have been there for me from day one, my girlfriends, I don't see why I cannot pay the bill, you know?
So, yeah.
But for him, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah, for him, it's like, oh, I hard earned this money, which also his point of view,
It's
I
true.
still rationalize, and I think it's right also as well. He's hard earned money, so why does he need to do that? Everything is splittable here. So that is one of our main topics that we always argue about, like financials. And everybody thinks that the whole time he pays my bills, he does everything, he covers everything. Everybody thinks that way. The truth is, it's an equal balance. Yes, he pays for the house. Yes, he pays for this. But on my share, I pay for my own expenses too. You know, I wasn't earning a single cent when I was pregnant. So of course, I needed to rely on somewhere for money, right? Like other than my parents, I was relying on him. But like, you know, I think financials was a big thing that caused us to like keep fighting, which I don't blame him also, because for somebody, like I know for a fact, if anything, I can rely on my parents. But I think for him, it's more of like, oh, I have only myself to rely on. That's why I felt the difference is actually not his fault. In the beginning, I always blame him. I was like, why are you so stingy? Why? And then I realized when he really sat me down, he told me like, it's not that way. And I realized, yeah, actually, it's because he also doesn't feel secure. And this is something that the difference is just
Yeah, of course, because he lost his main source of income at the same time where he had a new baby.
Yeah.
And his wife cannot work because she's Malaysian. It's a lot of pressure to put on someone.
Yeah.
So I see where he's coming from.
I see
and
where
I
both
think it's
is
very
coming
sweet
from,
that
to be
you like
fair.
always try to like defend him. Like even now.
Yeah.
Good of you.
It's a strong thing to do.
It is
honestly.
good of you because I think if I was in your position, I'd be like, fuck
Yeah, I
that
was slap.
ass bitch.
Boom.
Cannot even buy
Boom,
lunch
boom,
for my
boom.
fucking friends.
Yeah.
Like,
In
you know,
ringgit,
it's nice.
come on, relax.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, it's just
relax.
once in a while
No,
it's okay, but just not all the time.
No,
but for me,
I-
it's different.
I understand
yeah,
where he's coming from. It's so much pressure to have a child
Yeah.
at 24.
How much
But-
is food in Malaysia?
No,
Relax,
but my
bro.
love language is gift giving. So I like to see people happy. That not in just relationships, but in love. Like it's not about gifts. It's just like little
I
things.
feel
that
like if
make
you
people
guys
happy.
argue about that, and let's say if you are taking money from him to pay for the dinner, and then you argue, I feel like it makes sense. Why the fuck you want to pay for your friends when you got no money? But I feel like if it's your own money, you want to pay for your friends, and you pay 3 or 5 times fucking cheaper.
There are
Maybe
guys,
back then it was
there are
3.2
men out
ah.
there who will put their card down call the restaurant, make the reservation, put their card down so that when you go and eat there with your girlfriends, you don't even need to take out your wallet. So
Can also, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I don't know. I'd be like, you don't even let me pay with my own money.
Yeah.
No,
Stingy
but-
ass motherfucker. but I respect Cheryl's point of view.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to call him stingy.
No,
I
that's
think,
what I would say. But
Okay.
you are nice.
No, I just don't think that. Okay, because another thing, I feel for him, financially, that is his top priority. So
Yeah,
he's a person that values money, I feel. And there is nothing wrong with this. Money over everything else. Money over maybe friends, money over this, money over that. And that is fine. Some people just live, love, laugh money, you know. But
It's a scarcity mindset, maybe.
I'm not too sure.
Like if he didn't grow up wealthy, or his
yes.
parents were not like financially stable. Sometimes people think that like money equals stability.
Yes, to him, money is stability.
So
and
yeah, they crave that stability.
yeah, to him, that is the most important thing. But there is nothing wrong with that. That's why I said it's just we are too different. For me, it's like I I have my own flaws also. I would spend all my money just on ridiculous things just to make myself happy. But I'm like, you know what, never mind, we'll just make more. You know, that kind of thing. But it's just different. It's like my values and his different values are completely different. And you know, when it keeps entangling, and when you spend so much time with a person, you tend to become like them. So I became somebody that I just, I didn't recognize, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
What do you think you'll miss the most?
From this marriage,
Yeah.
honestly, I will miss having him around lah. Like, as much as we fought a lot and stuff, right? Like, truth be told, the good times were good times. Like, I don't think anyone will get married with me again in 14 days. So that's something.
Actually, that's a wild ass fucking experience. No, but I feel like, thank God it happened to you. Not say thank God. I mean, it happened to you now at a very young age.
Yeah.
Good timing.
It's for the lack of a better word.
But
Good timing.
Is it good timing? Is it? Because I feel like if she was older, she would have been like us. We were like, Cheryl, it's not a good idea.
But then I
so
wouldn't be the person I am today though. And I wouldn't have everything that I have today. So I don't, there's no point looking back also, you know, like,
To learn.
Yeah, I mean,
from
versus happening to you at like, even like our age now, like
but
30,
I won't do that if I
31.
was 30.
Yeah,
I think I'll
30,
be more
31, I think
mature
it's a different ball game already. You get what I mean? Like now that you're young,
Yeah, but you've matured incredibly over these 1.5 years, right? Like you are 24,
I'm 22.
22, right? But now you think like a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
What basically I'm trying to say is you still have time to fuck up. I feel like when you're older, like 32, 33, 34, and let's say you're going through a divorce, you will see it as, oh fuck, do I really want to fuck this up? But like, is there time for me to rebuild?
Yeah, I
There's
think
so
also
many things that
mentally,
I have built.
physically also you're
Okay,
so
but
tired
that's where I
at
stop
30.
you though, because I feel no matter what age you can always rebuild. Because truth is, when I announced a separation, right, I saw like a lot of people's point of view, like mommy's point of view, who are like having 2 kids and they want to like. She just said her mom did it. What? So actually, there is no too late. There is no like too late. There is no like, oh, it happened earlier or time to fuck up. To be honest, I'm 22, but I don't have time to fuck up. I'll be honest, I don't have a single time to fuck up. I cannot afford to fuck up. This is what I told my friends, my mom, my dad, everybody. I say I have no time to fuck up because you know why? I have somebody that relies on me.
That's true.
And I cannot fuck up.
Yeah.
You know?
She deserved that. She ate that, dude. She ate you up.
Yum yum.
Yeah, it's not about the age, okay? Yeah, it's not. I have no time to fuck. I cannot afford. Cannot have time. I cannot afford. I don't even have the luxury to afford.
Actually, you know what? If you divorce at 33, 35, you can apply single house scheme.
No, but I don't want to spend the next 10 years of my life walking on eggshells. That would destroy me enough to the point where I don't think I can even mentally cope into becoming a mother, and I don't want that. So when I made this decision, I told myself like, I'm doing this for her.
No, but to build off what she said, I think sometimes, as someone whose parents fought a lot, and it sounds like you and Titus were fighting all the time. When my parents were married, they used to fight a lot. And I remember seeing my mother cry. And up to today, when I think about my mom fucking crying over the sink about pears, about something as insignificant as pears, because he bought the wrong pears and then she started picking a fight and they started
Like
fighting.
pear,
about
fruit.
pear, a pear.
How do you buy a wrong pear?
There's different types.
Like different type. One got
okay.
China
There's
pear,
like-
Fuji pear.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
different-
There's
So she wanted a certain type of pear and he bought the wrong pears and then she got angry and said, why you buy the wrong pears? And then he walks out and then she starts crying over the sink.
Yeah.
And as a child, that like really broke me. And I think I was still living in my first flat. I used to stay in a HDB flat. I think I was like 4 years old, 5 years old when we moved out. That image still makes me cry. It just brings up so much like cortisol in my body. And I just wish that my parents got divorced earlier.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So you don't have
One
time
of the
to
bright
fuck up.
sides of a divorce is
Is the effect on the kids, because seeing your parents fight, it fucking breaks you as a child.
I am a product of like that.
Divorce.
Yeah. Like parents fighting all the fucking time. Yeah.
God, it's terrible.
Yeah. I
And
don't know.
when
Yeah.
your parents, my parents got divorced, I was like, oh, some fucking peace.
Fool. Yeah.
In this there's peace in this house. Like a weight.
Yeah. And you don't want to spoil your child's idea of love. Because I mean, during that point of time when they're growing, it's so important to show them affection, like between you and your wife also, and your partner, because that's how they learn love.
Yeah.
And if you guys keep quarreling, that's how they were gonna learn love.
Yeah.
They will bring it along until they grow up. Like I said, I'm the product of that.
There's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it took me so long to understand love.
Yeah. And I don't want that for her lah. So for me, like, because I look at my parents, I mean, I'm very thankful. My parents, I grew up in a very happy household. So whenever I couldn't provide that for Elleria, right, I would feel so guilty. And then it would eat me up because I would feel like, shit, maybe I'm not good enough of a wife. Maybe I'm not tolerating enough. Maybe I'm not. Then I would realize, no. It's not my fault. So I just needed to do what I needed to do to make sure that she doesn't have to live this life. Because I feel, okay, as you can choose your husband, but your kids cannot choose their father. And that was something that I didn't think about, or I didn't really look into. And like, it's the same for a man, you know, like you can choose your wife, but your child cannot choose the mother, you know. So I feel that is something that everybody has to think about if you're planning to start a family, okay? But on a serious note, like seriously, because of that statement, it really got me thinking, if me and Titus were to argue every single day and every day we're screaming at each other about really insignificant things like, oh, where's the TV remote? Or like, or like why about money. If everything is about money, then my daughter is probably going to grow up and be like, oh, no, I don't want to suffer with money, so I need to find a guy that has all these things and I just can sit around and you know, I don't want her to have that mentality. Like I want her to have that mentality of like, oh, what love truly is as well. Like you love somebody who is good to you, who takes care of you, who shows you unconditional love, not for all the materialistic things or all the subsidiary things that you can gain from it. Because love shouldn't stem from there in the first place. It will get you through the door, but it shouldn't stem from there. So I didn't want her to grow up with that mentality of, like you said, screaming at each other. Then it would just damage her as a person. I mean, I personally didn't know that, but I didn't want her to go through that, you know. Yeah, and that's why I think both of us, we just decided to mutually do it because I spoke with Titus and he also agreed. Like we both agreed that this was best for her.
Yeah.
So to bring it full circle, it's very nice that you gave that piece of advice because that's actually the advice that I give you when you told me that you were pregnant. Before she announced she was pregnant. I said, well, she was like, oh, you know, yeah, she was like, you have a daughter. And as I also got pregnant outside of marriage, and I said, "Well, you got to choose you can't choose the baby, but you can choose its parent, and you can choose the man that you choose to parent with. So make sure that he is going to be a good parent, and yeah."
So
you gotta choose the
game,
dads. More, you really gotta.
It's very heavy
because it really affects the life that your child is gonna live.
Yeah.
Marriage is not a game to be played with.
Yeah.
If you really put it
I
that
think
way.
marriage okay lah, but kids.
Parenting.
Parenting.
Yeah. I mean, what if
Parenting.
you want kids and then you get married to this guy and then you realize, oh my lord, it's not a good father.
Yeah,
Then just find
happens.
another father. Lor.
Hey, wow.
Happens.
You go, girl.
That's the truth for her.
That's probably that's the
Or you just
actual
be the
right thing to
mom
do.
that has become the mom and the dad. Like I've seen so many single mothers who honestly are so strong, you know.
They are.
They are so strong.
It's
like
so hard.
It's not easy to financially support and to really nurture. But I feel it's better. Okay, I always spoke with my friends about this, right? It's better for my daughter to grow up in, let's say, a single-handedly raised family than a dysfunctional one. You know, and yeah.
Definitely, I think
Most
a
children,
single.
yeah.
Like when I see parents out there, like it's a full family, and then their kids are crying, and then they're like struggling. I'm just like, you're just both terrible parents. Yeah, like
I
so
get. I totally get what you mean.
fucking.
Sometimes I
why
judge
you-
parents.
Yeah,
Yeah, like when I look at, wow, I don't think you guys can do it, man.
yeah. I feel like if maybe
saw
if you
this
all get
man
divorced and then you go into a single parent family, it might be better for your kids.
Yeah. Orphanage, maybe.
I saw a man hit the daughter.
Dale.
No. So I saw this guy. He slapped his daughter
Shit.
in public because she was like she didn't want to walk. So in my head, I'm already like, okay, you know what? I'm not against hitting kids, but the father should never be the one to model violent behavior. Especially not, like, what are you teaching your daughter that a man can lay a hand on her, right? In my head, I was like, fucking hell no. And then his wife starts yelling at him in front of the daughter. So the daughter's crying, the daughter's been slapped, the mom is yelling at him, and this white guy like runs up to them and starts yelling at both of the parents. And I'm like, y'all should have figured out, like this is like sort this shit out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
So traumatizing.
That is terrible for the kid.
Yeah.
But they don't see it, what? Because of their mindset. Because they think that way, what?
Like at my house, the mall, they put up this like globe, like a snow globe, and then if you spend $60, you can go in there and take a picture with your kid. And then it's like you can take a snow picture with your kid.
Oh, and then put it in the globe.
Cute.
And then I will see parents bring their kids in, and then the fucking snow is like 2 part-timers spraying the snow.
That's cute, what?
And then someone will take a picture, right? And then like all the babies will just cry. Because someone is just spraying shit at your kid. And then the baby will cry. And then one of the dad brought the kid out, just like, sorry, this boy, very scaredy cat. Everything also cry. And in my head, I'm thinking, maybe the boy is not a scaredy cat. Maybe the boy just realized that his father poor. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing the good thing for him. You know?
I mean, different. I think it's fine.
You mean the two people spraying the snow is not good?
Well, it's probably cheaper than operating some real snow machine or whatever, you know. But they pay some part-timers who just...
It's actually more expensive to buy so many cans.
Exactly.
Rather
No,
than
but if you
foam.
buy from Malaysia, cheaper, man.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to have like some sort of foam thing?
Yeah,
Or
that's why I said
CGI
foam.
the foam on
Yeah, or something like
onto
that.
the photo, like
Or
put
like
a
an overlay,
filter.
right? Like a
yeah, like an
overlay.
overlay.
That would have been more elegant.
Hey guys, so we come to the end of part 1 of this conversation. We still have part 2. So please join us for part 2.